can hear me because I'm saying a lot of stuff. Not really. I am saying stuff, but not a lot. Okay, it's loading. So, I literally just checked this just to freaking close off before what I was looking at will matter. But we're here for Shooting the Breeze. It has been literally a month since the last episode of Shooting the Breeze. I'm double checking to see the number episode that was, because I clicked Shooting the Breeze. That was episode number 31. So now we're at 32. And I have a handful of things to talk about. And you're probably like, oh, the guy finally is not on the NBA. Yes, because there's no NBA topics for this video. If you want to hear me talk about some NBA topics, tune into my video tomorrow. I'll detail that a bit in a minute. But the main topics of this episode, because I don't know what all will be in the title. Some NFL free agency things, mainly the Packer-related ones. WrestleMania 40 related matches, and AEW Big Business / Dynasty related matches. So I'm going to give my thoughts and opinions on a lot of things over the course of this episode. I have no clue how long it'll be, so let's just jump right into it. I won't lie to you. I played Fall Guys the other day and didn't pass the first round, and I was like, you know what? This is not it for me today, so I'm glad to come back and redeem myself a little bit. So, NFL free agency was a bit crazy, and I want a lot of y'all. I was asleep because I didn't think... The best way to put it, it's kind of an asshole way to put it, but I didn't think it mattered that much. And also, I've said this for 18 straight weeks. I'm not an NFL expert. I don't claim to be an NFL expert. I watch Red Zone. I watch the games. I enjoy it. I will say I am a bit of a fantasy football expert after winning a championship this year and being a two-time champion. I will say that. Again, that's just my opinion. But with NFL free agency, I knew it was today. I did not think it was going to be as big of a deal as it was, but with some of the chaos that happened, it was a bigger deal than I expected. So I will say that. With the main things, I said it for 18 straight weeks. I'm a Packer fan, and I think we were the team most involved in chaos because we had two big signings and a handful of releases of veterans that, it always sucks. So, Packers signed Josh Jacobs and Xavier McKinney to be our safety and running back and safety. Almost, I said that out of order. But with doing so, releasing David Bakhtiari, Aaron Jones, and then previously Devondre Campbell. So, as always, I thank them for their time with the team. It extremely sucks that Aaron Jones had to go because anybody that is a Packers fan will say he's the heart and soul. He's a great guy. And, they're not going to be saying that stuff if it was a lie. It's not a lie. So, it definitely sucked seeing things end this way, especially in the playoffs. The guy had 3 damn touchdowns against the Cowboys, But we're getting Josh Jacobs. We signed Josh Jacobs, and the kind of silver lining in it is that he is younger and not worse than Aaron Jones. So that is good. I think if the Aaron Jones cut would have happened a couple of days earlier and then the signing, I think the aftermath and reaction would obviously be a lot different, but it just sucks seeing your favorite players not be on your favorite team anymore. And I did say it in my Instagram post. This losing Aaron Jones hurts a little bit more than when we lost Aaron Rodgers, if I'm just going to be honest. But I'm excited to see Josh Jacobs and Xavier McKinney be on the team. I think seeing how our defense has been the last handful of years, there's a lot of optimism of how it is going to be next season, and McKinney is going to add a lot to that. So there's my opinions on that. So thank you to those guys. Excited to see the new guys, Packers probably could have done anything. And it be, oh no. I was not paying attention at all, so that's why I said, oh no, they almost got me. As I always try to land on that and then never do. So, I'm not going to talk about everything NFL free agency. I just wanted to cover the Packers ones mainly. With the other big ones, included Russell Wilson signing with the Steelers and Kirk Cousins signing with the Falcons. And I think, I won't lie to you, I'm not the biggest Russell Wilson fan. I'm not really a big Russell Wilson fan, but going back to my fantasy football, I owe him a bit of, gratitude because the 2 times that I won my fantasy football league, he was a quarterback on my team. And so I was like low-key hoping that he signed with a good damn team so I could draft him next year. And, as a backup. And, the Steelers, I would rather have seen him on the Falcons. And even in the case, see Kirk Cousins on the Steelers. Again, when it comes to, like, free agency and money, I don't know who had what money available, so it doesn't really matter to me. I know a lot of people are freaking out over this Kirk Cousins signing because he is getting in a lot of money for being an older player off of an injury. But, I think it's going to be a step in the right direction over Desmond Ridder. I saw a lot of Falcons games last year, and, yeah, I think it should be better than Desmond Ridder. So, there's that. Lastly, I have no clue where Derrick Henry is going. Anytime I typed in Derrick Henry on Google, everything was either a Cowboys-related thing or a Ravens-related thing. And even backtracking and talking about Aaron Jones, and I was like, am I an asshole for suggesting he go to the Texans? I think I'd like to see him on the Texans. I don't know where Aaron Jones is going to go as well, is kind of the moral of that story. But I know he's from Texas, and the Texans were really good last year and lost their main running back, Devin Singletary. So, was I an asshole for suggesting Aaron Jones to the Texans? I don't think so. I should have just stayed where I was. So, Derrick Henry, I'd prefer you not be on the Cowboys. If you're on the Ravens, that would be pretty dangerous, but those are kind of the 2 free agency signings I'm worried about the most. Now, unless the Packers make another one, which anything to help anything I would be satisfied with at this point. I don't think they would be doing something at this point for no reason. So if the Packers do something else, you'll hear about it probably. But I'm excited to see Packer football again next year, especially with how I was gonna say the season ended. That I don't even want to talk about the damn. I gotta retract that sentence. But I had a lot of fun watching Packer football last year. Ups and downs, not really. Ups, definitely. I have never won on this map, so let's lock in and try to win. So, we just gave our quick NFL free agency talks. We'll talk about some WrestleMania 40 after this. Like I said, I've never won on this level. So let's see if we can, as I also probably will sneeze at some point. Sneeze or burp. I think it's going to be a burp now. That was a weird transition. Okay. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Of course, I do just go straight. And then I got hit. Yep, I think I'm in last or second to last. Okay, we're right there, Oh boy, oh boy. Oh boy. We right there. Bitch, get out the way. He didn't even grab that. He did not freaking grab. He's over it. He's not even grabbing it. He's over it. We was right there. All right. Like I said, I've never won on that one, so that one doesn't frustrate me as much. I will also say this. Sometimes when I play Fall Guys, the button, you see where it says skip down there? That button, it disappears. It says you can skip, and I'm even pushing skip right now, and it's not. So, ignore what I'm saying. But, sometimes those buttons, sometimes when you're supposed to push the buttons disappear, and then it's just, you just sitting there hello, can I play? I was about to do something crazy. I was about to show y'all my friends list. I was trying to see if somebody was online, because I saw the 2 down there. I was like, oh, no. I avoided that, though. Let's talk about WrestleMania 40. The last time that we were discussing things was after the press conference in Las Vegas where Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes 2 was announced. And at that time, I'm like, what the hell are they going to do with The Rock? And the main point that I was getting at is that how the press conference ended, I was like, I think I would rather see, like, I imagine they're going in the direction of The Rock and Roman Reigns being a team and being aligned. I'm not really that damn interested in that match now. Because, like, they're all buddy-buddy friends, like, aloha, family, and all that crap. And so, over the course of this month, that is the damn direction they have went at. And now, the night one main event is officially Roman Reigns and The Rock versus Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins. Now, I will say this. In the course of the rest of this video, will be extremely overthinking AHS. Not as much as usual, but a little bit. The main thing, this is the main thing I'll say. So we have Roman Reigns, and to an extent now, Cody Rhodes, wrestling for 2 nights of WrestleMania. And in the grand scheme of things, the main one that mattered was Roman Reigns. I think they're worried about they don't want to, like, rush it. And in the case of them doing The Rock and Roman Reigns, like we initially were thinking, that would have been extremely rushed and whatnot. And, like, the story obviously is there. Like, who is the head of the table in their family? Like, there is a story and history there. Like, I'm not brushing that. But it's just like, you hadn't given the audience enough time to really care about that. And again, I'm trying to, like, cover a month's worth of opinions. I got real scared because it was real quiet, so that's why I paused there. But I'm trying to, like, give a month's worth of opinions here. So, The Rock and Roman, like, because initially what I was suggesting, when The Rock appeared that Friday, that first Friday on SmackDown, I was like, okay, do Rock versus Roman Reigns night 1, then Cody Rhodes versus Roman Reigns night 2, have Roman Reigns win night 1, and then a night 2, Cody Rhodes wins, and it be like kind of a tainted victory because Roman Reigns was weaker because he had wrestled 2 matches that weekend. And again, the very first matchup was kind of a tainted victory because Solo Sikoa came out to help Roman Reigns win. So initially, it sets up this third matchup to be a big trilogy matchup down the line whenever the hell you want to do it. Which again, Cody Rhodes has to win. He had to win in that situation. He has to win now. If Cody Rhodes does not leave WrestleMania with those championships, WWE is shitting the bed. I probably shouldn't say shitting and WWE in the same sentence, but I did. But it's just, you would lose a lot of faith if y'all screwed it over. But again, I've kind of came around to liking this tag team matchup because initially I was against it because I was like, what does Seth really have to do with it? And over the, like, course of this, he's really built himself up to, like, be a big deal in the matchup. When, again, the last time that we were talking, there's a great chance that Seth Rollins wasn't even going to make it to WrestleMania because of his injury. Now, he's scheduled for 2 damn matches at WrestleMania. That being said, the tag team matchup, I like it because you give Seth Rollins his main event match that he has wanted and cherished. And again, you can still give him a main event match next year, but at least he can, like, he has under his belt. Oh, what's up, Mick? What's up, Mankind? He at least has under his belt that he main event WrestleMania. The Rock, there is a good chance that, like, there's no other match besides against Roman Reigns or even to an extent against Cody Rhodes that would have made sense for The Rock at WrestleMania. Holy balls, that was a lot of stuff that just dropped. So, we're getting The Rock in a match at WrestleMania, and that's kind of really it, because Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns, all that stuff really could be connected to night 2. But it also builds, again, to night, because with night 1, the stipulation, whatever team wins, it's either the Bloodline's not involved in the night 2 match, or the Bloodline's going to be extremely involved. They sold me. Bro, 2-3 people survived that. I obviously have not been counting because I'm talking my ass off. But that was funny there. But I'm fairly certain that The Rock and Roman Reigns are going to win. But still, there's a little bit of intrigue there. I'm not going to go into the match like, yeah, they're like putting all my money on it. Still a little bit interested. So there's that. I've came around to the tag team match a little bit. The other matches, Becky Lynch and Rhea Ripley, I will also say, is extremely interesting because I think going into it, I was leaning towards Becky Lynch winning. That way they have a new champion. But the story they're telling now, where Becky, because like tonight on Raw, she had a very good match with Liv Morgan. Then Rhea Ripley came out and was like, Becky, you giving these good matches, these great hard-hitting matches, and you still got me at WrestleMania. Are you going to be like prepared at WrestleMania? Because even next week she's got a way more grueling match, a last woman standing match against Nia Jax. So I think that's more intriguing. It's like Rhea Ripley's been this dominant force, and this is her biggest test come WrestleMania. But her biggest test is gonna have weakness. So again, that I could tell you is gonna win that. I would lean towards at this moment Rhea probably, and then Gunther, Sami Zayn. I love Sami Zayn. I don't have a problem. It would very much be like, because the story's like, I was literally in the main event at WrestleMania last year. There's a good chance that I'm not on WrestleMania this year. I need to change that. And Gunther, I don't know what their initial plans were for Gunther. I think everything involving Gunther should be taken care of carefully because he is a future. I think by the end of this year, he will be World Heavyweight Champion. Or either he will be World Champion by the end of this year, or he will be in line to face the World Champion at next year's Mania. So I think everything needs to be done carefully with him. And again, everything's like, is he going to lose the Intercontinental Championship? Because at this point, like, I'm trying to line him up. Everybody's trying to line him up as the next world champion. He doesn't necessarily need the Intercontinental Championship. Or he could at least unify it and give him, like, an out because he's world. I don't know. I'm trying to think, like, because most double champions in wrestling history, they end up losing one of the titles quickly. Or they vacate. So, like, let's go back and talk. Ultimate Warrior vacated the Intercontinental title. And again, in the case of Gunther, that's probably the best way out of that, if, like, this is a unified title. Jay Lethal was ROH World and TV Champion, and he held both for a handful of months, but then it kept building on, and they ended up losing the TV title first to Roderick Strong. And in that same year, Seth Rollins was WWE and U.S. Champion, and he almost immediately, he held the U.S. Champion for like a month. So those are the top three that come to mind. But like a majority of the time, the person ends up vacating them. So there's that. They either lose them quickly or they vacate them. Is kind of the moral of the story. Because like even Kurt Angle, Eurocontinental Champion, he held them both for like a month and then lost them both at WrestleMania 2000. I'm really trying to like double down. Oh boy. Double champions. Rob Van Dam in 2002 was double champion twice because he was Intercontinental Champion, then he won the Hardcore title and the European title with vacating the latter two. So again, kind of goes to my statement. I'm gonna, not because I don't have it all in front of me. I'm gonna comment some more in the comments down below. So, and I love double champions, and I love Gunther, so I wouldn't be that against it. And I kind of took away from talk about his actual match at Mania, but it's definitely going to be a good match. I am fairly certain though that Gunther will win. So that's kind of a waste of time. I talked about Becky and Rhea, Drew McIntyre and Seth. I think it's kind of it's going to be a big moment for Drew. Because his whole story is that he has not gotten his big world title, his WrestleMania moment and world title moment in front of fans, and now that he will. That being said, though, CM Punk's biggest two haters in the company having a match, CM Punk has to be involved in that match one way or another. Get more eyes on Punk at WrestleMania. This is the hardest part right here. You just got to go to the left, but sometimes you start sliding. That actually helped me a little bit. Okay. Concentrate. I have one more match to talk about WrestleMania related. And that is this Judgment Day tag team match. And it is hilarious because on Twitter, everybody was like, oh, yes, they're finally going to announce that the tag team titles are split. And then it's like, nope, they're still unified, and we're going to have a 6 tag team match at WrestleMania, a ladder match. Which is weird because most of the time, tag team ladder matches are 4 teams. So now doubling down and having it be in 6. You know, more to them. I should have wrote down the qualifying matches, but they didn't announce them all. I will say this, hopefully, they lose the tag titles because I've said that almost every time they have defended the tag team titles. So I think I've covered all the updated WrestleMania matches. We are still, let me check. Hopefully Siri answers this. How many days until WrestleMania 40?
I found this on the web.
Okay. How many days until April 6th? 26 days. 26 days. 27. So we got 1, 2. We've got at least 3 more episodes of Raw and SmackDown until then. We've had some Hall of Fame announcements. Hey, buddy. You want to freaking go? All right. I don't know how many people made this. So I'm hoping this is the end. That way I can lock in. Joe Mixon got released by the Bengals. You know, loyalty ain't really a thing in the NFL, if I'm just being honest. It definitely sucks. Like I said, you're only really loyal to people that win you a Super Bowl, in my opinion. And even that, to an extent, is not. Aaron Donald. All right. I was having this conversation with myself, you know, because this doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things. But I was just like thinking of people that stayed with the same team their whole career in the NFL and how it's slowly becoming like the NBA and it's very rare. And again, the main people that end up staying with the same team their whole career delivered them a championship. So, like, off the top of my head, and I'm talking about older players because obviously, like Patrick Mahomes, Joe Burrow, like all these younger quarterbacks are still with the same team. But I was just thinking, like, Ben Roethlisberger, Eli Manning stayed with the same team their whole career, delivered their teams 2 Super Bowls. The main one that I was just now thinking, I'm like, oh, yeah, that is true. Aaron Donald has been with the Rams his whole career, and even to an extent, Cooper Kupp, if that matters. It should. He won the damn Super Bowl MVP. Oh, boy. Let's lock in. But it's just like, loyalty don't matter. I kind of wish I messed up right there. I cut it off too early. All right, that's fine. But we're on to our last game and our last topic, and that's AEW-related things. So, in the title of the video, it's probably going to be titled AEW Big Business. It's either going to be that. You know, I haven't really had time to talk about it. Hold on. Because my thing lagged. I was like, let me check this real quick. I will say this. You know, I probably get a lot of heat for this. I'm not going to talk about the big thing about AEW Big Business because I have a rule on my channel, and I will provide examples. Now, the big thing about Big Business is that there's anticipated to be a big debut. And, you know, with that being said, the key word there should be rumor. Now, if you look at the location of the event and where it is located in Boston with 2 S's that are shaped like dollar signs, you could probably put a couple things together and like, oh, this is who he's referring to. I'm not talking about it until it happens. And again, going back in time over the past year or so, when CM Punk was away from AEW and we didn't know if he was coming back, I ain't talk about him. The Rock, you remember every damn week when we were like, oh, is The Rock going to face Roman Reigns at WrestleMania? I refused to have that conversation until The Rock actually showed up. And again, with CM Punk, I refused to talk about CM Punk until he actually showed up. And so, until this person allegedly shows up in AEW, I won't be having a conversation about it. And, you know, it provides a good topic for the next Shooting the Breeze. So, there's that. I'm not talking about it. Now, talking about AEW related things, because like the big thing now is going to be Big Business Wednesday. Kazuchika Okada signed to AEW and now is a member of the Elite with the Young Bucks. And I will also say this. A lot of the things that I potentially could say will make me sound like an AEW hater. I'm not. I really ain't. But it's, you know, in my world, shout out Jeff Jarrett, I would have done and like to see things go a little bit differently. But in the grand scheme of things, it don't matter. Okada, obviously, is in AEW and is paired with the Young Bucks because they are very good friends. That has gone, he is detailed and whatnot. I'm not the biggest fan of the Young Bucks' current characters. I know everybody's just awestruck at like, oh, this is just such great. I ain't buying that shit. I just really don't like it. Them bringing Okada into, I think they were also the money, but they were a big factor into Okada being in AEW. So them being paired together does make sense, and you know, kind of makes me a little bit more interested and caring about the Young Bucks, them paired with Okada. Again, in my world, I would have liked to seen him in WWE because I'm not. This was the map the other day. I've done this map once and I really sucked at it. So let me lock in. I would like to see Okada in WWE, but obviously that's not going to be the case for the next 3 years. So that's why I'm not gonna talk about it anymore. But AEW signed Will Ospreay and Okada, and they have that other potential signing. They are doing a lot of good things. So, hats off to them. The Big Business event, I would say the main match right now is Eddie Kingston, the Bastard Pac, and Penta L0M versus Kazuchika Okada and the Young Bucks, a.k.a. the New Elite. I think they're just still the Elite, but I like to call them the New Elite. I was talking to somebody, and they were like, oh, you should be excited. You know, Okada's going to be the next Ring of Honor World Champion. And, you know, I don't want to be, again, a hater, but Eddie Kingston ain't been on ROH in like a month. I have kind of, you know, I am the ROH guy. I like taking pride in that I am the ROH guy. And a lot of people talk down and shit about ROH. You know, I have to, like, look at them differently at that point. I don't know if Okada's going to be the next Ring of Honor World Heavyweight Champion. Is the main point. I'm going to be there. And if he is, I really, really, really effing doubt he will ever be on ROH TV. Granted, y'all can prove me wrong. Give him the damn championship and then have him on TV every once in a while. ROH TV every once in a while. But that's just going to be a wait-and-see situation. But they're definitely building towards a Eddie Kingston, Kazuchika Okada match. The other big match for Big Business is Samoa Joe versus Wardlow for the AEW World Heavyweight Championship. And again, if you watch my How I Would Book, I sold that exponentially. That is fucking hilarious. I fucking sold that terribly. If you watch my AEW, How I Would Book AEW Dynasty, I suggested Samoa Joe versus Wardlow, and the main reason I did it, and you know, I'll break my own rules. Some point MJF's going to come back to AEW, which again, you know, it's kind of funny because AEW fans are like, oh, have you noticed that AEW's gotten better? And this is not me saying this. Definitely not me saying this. This is AEW fans. AEW fans are like, have you noticed that AEW's gotten better since MJF has been gone? And I kind of chuckled at it. And then when they announced AEW Dynasty, everybody's like, oh, MJF's going to come back at this because he used to have a faction called Dynasty. Again, this is just me imitating AEW fans. But I was like, the Samoa Joe Wardlow matchup makes sense for MJF because A, he lost the World Championship to Samoa Joe. B, he's connected with Wardlow. They were together as a tandem for 2-ish years into 2019 to the middle of 2021. And I have always wanted to see MJF Wardlow too, because MJF obviously never beat Wardlow, you know, because they've only had one matchup and MJF lost that. So I've always been intrigued by Samoa Joe or a Wardlow MJF 2. I never can finish that spot. It really bothers me. So I was like, the main reason I was like saying, hey, do Samoa Joe and Wardlow at Dynasty is that you can have the MJF return, and then it connects a lot of extra, like him and Wardlow, him and Joe, and obviously him and Adam Cole. So that's why I kind of suggested. You could obviously do that at Big Business and it be extremely rushed because, again, I have no clue when or if MJF is coming back. But I was just like extremely insinuating, hey, this would be a great time for that to happen. As you know, everything is connected. This person, I'm sorry, but you was going to mess me up. So, get the hell out of my way. So, I fully imagine, though, that Samoa Joe's going to win. I'm still also intrigued by when they're going to do Samoa Joe and Swerve Strickland again, and what/if Hangman Page will have any involvement in it because he has taken time off / suspended. I don't know. There's a lot of interesting things. And obviously Darby Allin and Jay White, hopefully, again, Darby Allin's supposed to be taking some time off. Hopefully it leads to something big and has some sort of direction for Jay White. I think everybody wants him away from the Bang Bang Scissor Gang. And I will say this. I don't think I have thought this for months. This is the perfect time to freaking say this. I've thought this for months. I've never gotten a chance to say it. For the longest time, I was trying to compare Bullet Club Gold to the NWO. Because obviously, the Bullet Club and NWO have been linked together since the freaking start of it. There's a lot of similarities there. And again, the Bullet Club Gold is a 4-man tandem. For the longest time, like I said, I tried to compare. Then I came to the realization they're more so 1998 DX. I always F up on this level. So if this is the end, this is the end. But Jay White is Triple H. And also, again, with DX 1998, a great majority of that run was them doing comedy-related things. And then a time or two, it would get serious, like when Triple H faced The Rock, when DX faced the Nation of Domination. I'm not going to say everybody, but a low-key great match is the street fight on Raw, where they're all in street apparel. And then obviously Rock and Triple H at SummerSlam 98. But again, like a great majority of that DX run and this Bullet Club Gold run has been comedy-related things. And again, we're talking about Jay White and because he's literally been in AEW a year now. It's been 50-50. There's been a lot of good, but it's also been way too much of, yep, they sold with him. I was very disappointed he didn't win the world title from MJF because the main thing I was like is, what the hell are you going to do with him after this? Then they put him in the Continental Classic for a month, and guess what? He had a great showing there, but that only lasted a month. And then now we're back to this, oh, what the hell are we doing, MJF or Jay White? And you know what they've done? They gave him the ROH 6-man tag team titles. And again, this is another side topic, but the ROH 6-man tag team titles in AEW/ROH are probably the lowest ranked championships, if I'm just being honest. And they're also the titles that everybody's like, yeah, there's no reason for these titles to exist. So they gave him those. And I love ROH. And I'm saying it. And that's another side topic. I'm going to write that down. Double champions / AEW title rankings. Because this is going to be stuff for the comments. But, like I said, I think at some point he's going to have a match with CM Punk. Obviously, all that got thrown out of the window with Real Glass. It got smashed. It is like, that is all gone. They swept it up. It is gone. And then, like I said, a lot of time I think was consumed with the MJF stuff, and everybody left that with a bit of a sour taste. But again, back to DX98. He is Triple H. And guess what? After Triple H left DX, he became a way bigger deal and a little bit, better, and was a bigger deal. Juice Robinson is X-Pac. And I will say it. There's a thing called X-Pac heat, and how people didn't like X-Pac for the longest time. I never fully understood that. I've always liked X-Pac. Even when he was in X Factor 2001, all that crap, I still liked X-Pac. But a lot of people just didn't like X-Pac for the longest time. And Juice Robinson, for the longest time, I didn't like. But, now I've kind of came around and, I tolerate him. But again, that just reminds me of X-Pac. And, again, they were good friends before. They were in DX, and now they're friends in Bullet Club Gold. And then, obviously, the main comparisons, Austin Gunn is very similar to the Road Dogg. They're wannabe, they're funny, haha, wannabe rappers. And then Colton Gunn is literally the son of Billy Gunn. And then you're going to say, well, isn't Austin Gunn the son of Billy Gunn as well? But, if you told, hey, both of y'all look in a mirror, you would know which one's Billy Gunn's son and which one isn't. Or which one I'm referring to. But I just have thought of that as hilarious that guy got eliminated. I apologize so much to you. But I've just thought for the longest time that Bullet Club Gold reminds me of 1998, 99 era DX. And once Jay White breaks away from that, he would be a bigger deal. If and when that happens, we shall see. I think it'll be a while before it happens, though. Again, it might happen Wednesday. We shall see. Lastly, the last AEW related thing to talk about. I was trying to stretch this out because, again, this might be the last game. I got eliminated last time. Bryan Danielson, Will Ospreay. A match I feel everyone will have their eyes on. I'm not upset that I suggested 2 other matches for these two at AEW Dynasty, and then they're like, no, bro, we're going to go a different direction. And, because this is a match. These are 2 guys that I give the rare compliment. You can put them in the ring with anybody, and they'll have a good match. I think that is a list for another video. Guys that you could have a good match with anybody. But obviously, 2 of the best wrestlers in the world. We don't know Bryan Danielson's status for the rest of this year. So let's just go ahead and get this big-ass match knocked out. And it gives them a month and a half to build this match up, which I think they're going to go the route of every week they're going to be in, some sort of, dream match. Because, no, you don't necessarily need, a heavy build for this match. But that's just, again, it's going to be a wait-and-see situation. But it's just Bryan Danielson, Will Ospreay. You say it, people are going to be there lined up to watch the match. So I still wish Bryan Danielson was the Continental Champion, but he doesn't like me, so there's that. So let's lock in and try to win us a crown, because I've covered all the topics that need to be covered. Or I have wrote down, at least. I'll check Twitter to see if there's any breaking news, because before I got on, Tyrod Taylor signed with the Jets. And it did remind me. Remember when we had to watch Zach Wilson play football for 2 months, and we're like, what the actual F? And I remember that Monday night game, the very first game on Monday Night Football, where Aaron Rodgers played 3 snaps. I still lose sleep over that a little bit. But I remember watching, I'm like, yeah, this is a big-ass, great rib making us watch Zach Wilson play. After y'all know we wanted to see Aaron Rodgers. That sucked. Oh, schedule. Knew I was forgetting something because I didn't have this wrote down. So, if y'all don't know me, I say this a lot. I try to upload every other day. If I don't upload every other day, I try to do back-to-back uploads, space, back-to-back uploads. And again, it gets very difficult when I always do ROH reviews on Fridays, which this ROH review should be a bigger deal because there should be a Supercard of Honor announcement that I saw spoiled for me. So if you don't know about it, check on my review Friday or just watch ROH Thursday. So the schedule for this week, obviously today, come Tuesday, we have this episode of Shooting the Breeze. Tomorrow, and the main reason I'm not on 2K because I have an NBA-related video tomorrow, and it's one that I did last year, and it is in a NBA, I almost said NFL, NBA playoff matchups I would like to see this year. I've been putting this video off because somebody else did it, and then it upset me a little bit, even to the point where I'm like, hey, I did this video last year. I want to do it again. Definitely sucked that I got eliminated there, but it is what it is. So tomorrow's video should be NBA playoff matchups I'd like to see this season. No video Thursday. Friday, as usual, ROH review. And then Saturday should be Seattle Supersonics franchise episode 2. If nothing else happens, that's the plan. Keyword there is plan. I should say card subject to change. So that's going to do it for this episode of Shooting the Breeze. Hopefully you enjoyed it and took something away from it. As always, you can comment things that you think about in the comments. Hopefully you like it, subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.